Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement, and today we're talking about Killers of the Flower Moon on 4K. If you bear with me for 1 second, I will get to the point of this video, but I just want to say, on the day that I'm filming this, you can really tell that summer is coming to an end. I have the sweatshirt on, I've got my long Adidas pants on. Summer is drawing to a close, and it kind of makes me sad. I feel like now in the state of the climate, the world, whatever it is, we really don't have those fading transitions to seasons anymore. It almost seems to me that 1 minute it's really warm, it's like 80 degrees outside, you can't even breathe, your lungs are on fire, and then also the next day you wake up and you're Frosty the Snowman, and you can't even function, and you're wearing 15 layers of clothing. Where's the coasting? Where's the, oh, it's 80, now it's 70, now it's 60, now it's 50, and you're mixed in there somewhere. I miss that. It reminds me of elementary school on the playground with my spring jacket on, and the grass is super muddy because it's been raining. You gotta bottle up those memories. Now, while I briefly, for some odd reason, get a little sentimental with you, I know why you're here, and it's to talk about Killers of the Flower Moon on 4K. This video is me trying to help you make as much of an educated purchase as the one that I had to make myself. I think everyone can agree that Apple TV is probably the least desired streaming service. I recently saw within the last month a statistic that said more people watch Netflix in 1 day than Apple TV in a month. And that being said, if you want to watch Killers of the Flower Moon, the only way to currently watch it right now, unless you have this, is on Apple TV. And I was one of those people, I don't subscribe to Apple TV, and I missed this in the theater because I've mentioned a couple times, I go to school, I go to college, and I have obviously that responsibility, but then I have other responsibilities, and I couldn't really figure out a way to go and see this movie because it is 3 hours and 20 plus minutes, not to mention all the driving there and the driving back and all that other stuff. So I really wanted to see this movie in theaters, didn't get the opportunity, so be it. And I forget exactly what month it was, but it was somewhere towards the beginning of summer, and I was like, man, I really, really, really want to watch Killers of the Flower Moon right now. I've been dying to see it for probably 6 months at this point. And so I decided to do a little bit of research, and I know that a lot of people were talking about a 4K release from Italy that came out, but it was region locked. And the thing about 4K discs is usually 99 times out of 100 they're not region locked. They're region free. As long as you have a 4K player, you can watch them. But for some reason, Killers of the Flower Moon was region locked with this release. But then I heard that there was a region free release that came out. And so I decided to mull over, should I buy this Italian 4K or should I hold out? So basically what this video is, I'm going to talk about this release, talk about my own thoughts, my own feelings, and hopefully help you come to terms with either buying this or waiting out, because this was a dilemma that really ate at me for almost a week. So the thing is, I bought this off of a site called Diabolic DVD. It's a great site that sells a bunch of different Blu-rays. I had hoped and wished that this was going to be on Zavi. Zavi is the place I bought from before. I have a Blu-ray update summer video that's either coming out or it'll never come out. But either way, I bought some movies off of their site. But I thought I would come off there, but they should kind of deal with the UK strictly. So I was like, how am I going to buy this? I can buy it off the Italian eBay, or the Italian Amazon, but then it's like $20 shipping, which meant that this was going to cost around like $50, $60. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. On eBay, people are asking for $50 or $60. And then I found Diabolic DVD, and I paid about $30 for this. So thank you so much, Diabolic DVD. I checked yesterday when I was going to film, like leading up to filming this video, I checked yesterday. It's sold out currently. I don't know if they're going to get another shipment or if they're done. They also have a steelbook, but I think the steelbook is region locked. And they have a Blu-ray, but that's region B. So if you have a region B player, you could think about getting that. So, but there are still ways to get this. You just would have to find another source. You'd have to maybe go to the Italian Amazon. Or keep checking Diabolic DVDs, see if it comes up on there. But I bought it for there at $30. I figured that was a fine enough cost where if a Criterion release did come, I would be okay double dipping. $50, $60, that was a little bit harder of a pill to swallow, but $30, I could double dip on that. So, as for this release, it comes with a Blu-ray. You can't watch it unless you have a region-free player. But it does come with the 4K. You can watch it. I did see some people talk about, are there Italian subtitles locked? There are not Italian subtitles locked. I don't know. On Apple TV, I did see a clip on YouTube from a posting of Apple TV where there are no subtitles when the Osage are speaking their native language. But on here, there are. There are English subtitles for the Osage speaking their native language. There is also scenes that show black and white silent picture movies, and in the points where dialogue or where written script appears in the silent film, that is going to be in Italian with English subtitles at the bottom. So if that bugs you, don't get this. But there are no forced English subtitles. There is no forced Italian subtitles. The only time that there are subtitles are when the Osage are speaking their native language, or when, obviously for the Italian release, they went in and edited out the English silent picture framings and put in Italian ones. But other than that, this movie is completely fine. There's nothing like that. There was one typo in a English translation subtitles at the bottom for an Osage scene. There was just like one small, real minor typo. I think one word was missing a letter or something. But you don't have to worry about anything involved with forced subtitles or anything like that. There's actually a menu right away when you put in the disc that says English or Italian. You can click on the English. Everything will be in English. You're good to go. I usually just double check the subtitles in the languages anyway, just because I don't want to start the movie and then all of a sudden they're speaking Italian or there's subtitles, because then I gotta go back to the menu and do what I should have did in the first place. So I always check just in case, but no worries about that. As for the release, it comes with a really nice slipcover that's embossed on Leonardo DiCaprio's face. You can feel all the grooves of his skin. The Killers of the Flower Moon wording is embossed. It's kind of like I don't know the texture. It's a very smooth texture. But yeah, there's very, very good detail. Even on the back, there's like embossing and texture. Then we got the case. As you can see, open it up, and you got a little logo card. I think this is also just showing other releases that this production company has, and then you get the two discs flipped like that. Like I said, the Blu-ray is a Region B Blu-ray. North America is Region A. It will not work. But the 4K disc is region free. It will work. Now, this is from Eagle Pictures, and the picture quality on this isn't bad, but it's to the point where I don't think. The thing is, it's a very long movie, so to fit all that at the highest quality is a little bit demanding of a disc. I wouldn't say it's not the best picture quality I've ever seen. It's not bad by any means. I wouldn't say it's a bad 4K disc. It's just maybe not what I had hoped or wanted out of a Scorsese movie. I honestly feel like it's probably closer to what I would have expected maybe out of a Blu-ray than a 4K. I have seen 4K transfers worse than this, okay? So by no means am I trying to drag this through the mud. I've seen 4Ks worse than this, but I have also seen some really, really good Blu-rays better than this. So keep that in mind. If you're very demanding and you expect a lot from 4K discs, I think you might have to see it with your own eyes. My player isn't that great. I've got a stinking Sony crappy player that I want to upgrade. I bought it out at Meijer. I don't know if you guys have Meijer. There's a store that is by me that's called Meijer. It's like a higher end Walmart, but not as good as Target. And I went there one time, and I needed a 4K player. This was way early in my Blu-ray buying days, and it was like $200. I'm like, dang, that's cheaper than anywhere else I've ever seen. I'm gonna buy it. But it had a banana sticker on it, and I'm pretty sure it was returned. And when I think I went to check it out, I think I accidentally scanned the banana sticker at first, or the person that was ringing it up accidentally checked the banana scanner. And ever since then, it's always played Blu-rays fine, but it's a little finicky with 4Ks. And I know 4Ks are generally a little bit more picky because there is just so much data for each. You know, it's the same size as a Blu-ray and a DVD, but the data is so much grander. So they're a little bit more finicky, but that one is a little bit too finicky for my liking. So I don't know, again, you gotta think of the players. Maybe your player is infinitely better than mine. I really want to get a Panasonic, or not, yeah, I really want to get a Panasonic player. So obviously that's probably going to play a big part in it. But with my setup on the OLED 65-inch TV, it didn't look as great as I wanted it to, but it did look really solid. And I didn't, you know, I wasn't like sitting there going, oh god, this picture quality is so bad. I went, that's pretty good, but I wanted a little bit, I wanted to feel it. It didn't live up to a theater experience like some other discs that I've had where I'm like, dang, I feel like I'm like popping out of the joint up in here. So I do think it is worth it just because it is, you know, so hard to get. But if like it was between this and a Criterion, like I will be double dipping for the Criterion. I do assume if a Criterion does come, it will be a better quality. And that brings me to the second part of my video. Sound is good, video quality is all, you know, it's all good. Like I said, maybe not as much as I had wanted it to be, but it is what it is. I can enjoy it for what it is, respect it for what it is, but I think for all that this movie asks, it was a little underwhelming in that regard, but by no means it's not a bad. Another thing I should briefly mention is like the synopsis is in Italian, so if you're kind of like, if you want to read it and you don't speak Italian, that will be a problem, but that wasn't something that bothered me. But now I suppose that we should talk about if it is worth getting or not, in terms of what is going to happen in America with releases. Now I'll talk about some of the thoughts that went into my mind. It's Scorsese. And Scorsese, before anything else, really prefaces physical media. Big proponent of TCM. A lot of his stuff has gotten Criterion releases. The Irishman, another streaming film. After Hours, Mean Streets, Raging Bull. These are all movies that got Criterion releases that are his movies. And I feel like he would have negotiated up front, like, physical media is important to me. It needs to get a physical release. So that was my one school of thought. Another school of thought I had is Apple TV also released Coda, which won Best Picture, I think 2021. That is the only Best Picture winner to never get a physical release in America. Much like Killers of the Flower Moon, it did get an Italian 4K, I think. Maybe from the same studio if I remember correctly. But it has never gotten an American release. Also, this is a more recent development, Apple seems to be pulling out of the theater game. And that tells, and they're kind of going to be reeling back their streaming stuff because, as I mentioned prior, Netflix Day equals Apple month. So I don't know if they're going to be diving into a Killers of the Flower Moon type endeavor again, or Napoleon, which is another release that I hope sometime comes. So my school of thought was, I don't know. I know for sure that this exists, and I have an opportunity to get it. I don't know for sure if the Criterion is ever going to come. The November releases were just announced. Killers of the Flower Moon has not been seen. It's not in there. And a lot of people were thinking, oh, well, on the one-year anniversary of The Irishman's Netflix release, it got a Criterion. So on the one-year anniversary of Killers of the Flower Moon, it will get a Criterion. Well, November would have been past that. I think it was October. So, no year anniversary Criterion. So, I really don't know what advice to give. Because for me, this was back in like May. So I was like, even if it does come out in November Criterion, I will have had this for 5 months. And I will have gotten my viewing pleasure out of it up until then. The $30 will have been expended at that point. I will have gotten it my $30 worth. I will be able to buy that Criterion. And Criterions are expensive. And I'm already backlogged trying to catch up. So having this makes it a little less pressure to get the Criterion right away. That being said, I probably will still get it right away if it ever does come out. I can't sit here and tell you that I don't think it's going to come out. I do think eventually there will be a Criterion Killers of the Flower Moon. I just know how Scorsese is with his physical media. And I just feel like whatever deal Apple TV cooks up, they'll be losing money if they don't do the physical release. But at the same time, I can't say that it wouldn't shock me if a release never comes for Killers of the Flower Moon. So basically in this video I really just wanted to explain this, clear up some misconceptions, because I didn't see a lot of people talk about it when I myself was trying to find out what route to take. But if you are interested in it, and if you can find it for a reasonable price, I do think it is worth picking it up just to have it. I saw one person who had this version and the Steelbook, and they were actually excited and pumped, hoping for a Criterion. So I was like, man, I have to have that energy more. Because when I have a movie on Blu-ray and then I hear the 4K come out, a 4K is coming out, I kind of go like, God dang it, now I gotta buy another movie, double dip. But I have to kind of have that mindset, I guess, more so of, you have the opportunity, this movie that you like is coming out on a higher quality, with higher resolution, and you have a chance to see it in a more pristine condition. I've rambled on enough. Let me know in the comments below if you have this, if you're thinking about picking it up. What are your what reservations you have of maybe getting this or of not getting this? Do you think the Criterion's going to come out? Let me know. And if you have any questions pertaining to this disc or any advice, like any questions that I didn't answer that you feel would be helpful in making a decision, let me know. Let's just put that back. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me in my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement.